Government committed to boosting the country's implementation rate of projects through its new Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by changing the way you do laundry? Front-loader washing machines are designed to reduce electricity and water consumption. When upgrading, buy with this in mind. You can also lower your electricity bill by doing full loads of laundry, using the sunlight to dry your clothes, and ironing in bulk. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by changing the way I do laundry. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
With the details to the news for Friday, October 14th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says his government remains committed to boosting the country's implementation rate through the timely and cost-efficient execution and completion of projects and programs. This, he says, can only be done under the management of the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation. Following the June 23rd general election, Prime Minister Mitchell announced the establishment of a new ministry tasked with the responsibility of working along with other ministries and departments to ensure all projects and programs not only commence but are completed in a timely manner, thus improving the country's implementation efficiency. On Thursday, the ministry was officially launched.
The mandate is not just to get things done. The mandate is to get them done better, faster, and cheaper. So let me repeat. The mandate is to get them done better, faster, and cheaper. Because if we just get them done, we will not transform Grenada. And so the transformation process must lead to an overall improvement in the lives of all our people. And that ultimately is the goal of the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation. And so while we've established this ministry, transformation will not take place if all of Grenada is not part of the transformation process. And therefore I want to use this opportunity to continue to encourage all citizens of Grenada in their own way to be part of the transformation process that needs to happen. And I will end by saying to demonstrate that we will do things differently.
Minister Andy Williams says his ministry has already hit the ground running, assessing various projects throughout the island that are experiencing delays, including on the sister isle of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, with a view to find quick solutions.
The ministry sits at the center of government and is aligned to the Cabinet Office and Ministries of Finance and Economic Development as a key driver for implementing the government priorities in the form of policies, programs, and projects. The work of MIT has already commenced, and we seek to move various projects forward which suffered delay in various forms. As part of MIT mandates, the ministry takes leadership in driving the governance and transparency in the performance of its work through three pillars: mobilization, implementation, transformation. The vision for the next 5 years is for MIT to be a professional organization that supports effective mobilization of resources and successful whole government implementation of PSIP geared towards national transformation and alleviating poverty.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Perron Johnson, says the ministry will play a pivotal role in executing and achieving the government's transformation agenda.
The MIT is therefore at the heart of government's transformation agenda and will seek to ensure the delivery of government's mission-critical priorities. Integral to doing this is the ministry's mandate to reshape Grenada's mindset and to inspire the populace in delivering the national transformation agenda. My ministry is therefore will work strategically with project-related staff of line ministries and other partners to effect its mandate and to ensure that the business of government is done right. We will seek to support all ministries and departments for the successful completion of projects and programs which are targeted at poverty reduction through innovative ways of sustaining incomes.
Electricity customers will enjoy the benefits of a slight reduction in fuel rates, the first decrease in electricity rates since January 2021. Acting General Manager of the Grenada Electricity Services Limited, Clive Hostin, announced that the new fuel rate, which is adjusted monthly, came into effect on Friday, October 7th. The new fuel rate for electricity is an average of Grenlec's fuel cost over the prior 3 months, owing to the changes in the world fuel prices. According to Hostin, the reduction is good news for everyone as it impacts the price of electricity as well as prices in every other sector.
We are happy to announce some good news. There is a reduction in the fuel charge for the month of October in the region of about 3 cents compared to September. But this is the first time that we have seen a reduction in the fuel charge from January 2021. So from January 2021, fuel prices have been increasing, and it's been increasing drastically. Into 2022, it continued to increase up to September, and in October, we see a slight decrease. We're very, very happy for this. We recognize that world food prices are very volatile, and it can change instantly.
He explained that the reduced rate does not yet represent a drop in the overall unit price of electricity and encouraged customers to continue to manage their electricity usage. Grenlec officials are optimistic that this downward movement in fuel prices will continue, allowing the company to pass on even lower prices to its consumers.
Due to the discontinuation of the 25% on the non-fuel charge, it does not signify a drop in the overall rate. As the fuel prices continue to decrease over time, the overall rate will decrease. For now, it still remains high. We ask customers to continue using prudent energy management, pay attention to energy conservation, energy efficiency, and please do not waste electricity.
Continuing the news, the government of Grenada successfully negotiated the settlement of US $5 million in long-standing debt arrears owed to the state of Libya. These debts were contracted in the 1980s by the People's Revolutionary Government. Long-standing unresolved debt arrears to Libya, Algeria, and Trinidad and Tobago have adversely affected Grenada's credit rating, placing the country in the category of selected default. The government of Grenada will continue to make concerted efforts to resolve the remaining debt arrears to Algeria and Trinidad and Tobago, respectively, as regularization of these arrears will greatly assist in unlocking the financial resources needed to support government's transformational agenda. The settlement agreement was signed in Washington, D.C. on Thursday by Libya's Minister of Finance, His Excellency Dr. Khalid Abdullah, and Grenada's Minister for Economic Development, Planning, Tourism, ICT, and Creative Economy, Honorable Lennox Andrews, on behalf of Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Honorable Lennox Andrews is currently in Washington, D.C., attending the 2022 Annual International Monetary Fund meetings. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Government has established a local committee to review the minimum wage of various categories of workers. Legal Affairs and Labor Minister Senator Claudette Joseph met with members of the committee on Wednesday to outline its mandate and discuss the way forward. She said government remains committed to reviewing and finding a solution to the issue of minimum wage, especially within the public service, an issue that has been ignored for over 10 years. Minister Joseph said the Wage Advisory Committee will work closely with the labor movement to create a culture of independence and eliminate poverty.
Greater economic independence of all peoples, opportunities for wealth creation, that goes for employer and employees, and a better standard of living for all. We would want to become a nation where the people who are classified as poor still enjoy a decent quality of life with a decent roof over their head and the ability to comfortably meet their expenses, their living expenses as they fall due, to comfortably have their children educated.
The committee will be chaired by Dr. Curlan Gilchrist and include various members of the labor movement: Justin Campbell, Phoebe Brown, Brian Grimes, Trevor Xavier, George Mason, Cicely Gabriel, Anne-Marie Montrose, Janine Viveg, and Lydon Lewis.
To review and make recommendations for the adjustment in the minimum wage payable to workers in the stated category in the orders. But I would like to expand that to include, to have your mandate include giving advice on whether the minimum wages order itself should be updated to embrace all the categories of workers, and also any other recommendations that can be made to help in this regard with the relationship between worker and employer.
After 2 years without any in-person activities, celebrations for International Credit Union Day have returned. The 74th anniversary of International Credit Union Day will be celebrated worldwide on October 20th under the theme Empower Your Financial Future with a Credit Union. The day is used to raise awareness on the importance of credit unions and share achievements with members and partners. Marketing and Research Officer at the Grenada Cooperative League Limited, Marissa Williams, during an interview with GIS, spoke about some of the ongoing and upcoming events to commemorate the day. The activity started with an address by Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade.
We have currently on the Grenada Cooperative League's Facebook page, we have Trivia Fridays. So today you'll find a question being posted. So it's questions about the credit union movement in Grenada in general. And you have fantastic prizes. A lot of small businesses who are also credit union members have sponsored prizes for that. So every Friday, a question will be posted. Of course, we have terms and conditions. We also have other giveaways scheduled throughout the month. And the major celebrations, National Stadium Car Park, October 20th. So we'll start off with a march pass from the Ariza car park, which is also judged. So the credit unions, they come out and they know the criteria. So we'll be marching from Ariza, go across onto Melville Street over to the stadium. When we get to the stadium, we do have our official ceremony. We have the live entertainment.
Activities are also scheduled for the sister isle of carriacou.
We can get carriacou to come down because that's a lot of credit union members to come down. So what we do now, we go up. So there are three credit unions operating in carriacou: Ariza, the Communal, and GUT Credit Union. So we go up now the following Thursday. So on October 27, we have that similar celebrations in carriacou, the same march again, entertainment. We would have remarks from the people from the league. We'll have other officials from carriacou, the same each drinks, everything, games, domino competition, draft competitions going on.
Finally, in the news, residents of Molyneux, St. George and surrounding villages are invited to a community meeting scheduled to be held on Monday, October 24th at 5 p.m. to outline safety measures required to minimize the risk to residents as a result of the imminent construction. The meeting will be held near the project site. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell, during his remarks at the recent launch of the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, highlighted the significance of the meeting with the contractor of the project.
To discuss concerns that the contractor has over the use of the road while construction is taking place, because there are significant safety risks. And to demonstrate that there are Grenadians from all walks of life who want to be part of the transformation process, I will give you the phone number of one young man named Tony, who's already volunteered to be a warden to help escort children and people across the construction site while construction is taking place to minimize the risk associated with it.
That story just ended the national report for Friday, October 14th, recapping the top story. Government committed to boosting the country's implementation rate of projects through its new Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis.